Look out! Dang it! He actually knocked me mid-air. I don't know how that's possible. Look out! He's going on a fairy strike, and there's two of them. Of course, there's two of them. It's a From Software game. I should have not expected this. Alright, I'm almost done with this guy if he stopped breathing poison. Ah, of course! Ah! I felt like it was appropriate to do this adorable Astrobot. Yeah, I felt like it was I felt like it was extremely important. Hey Astrobot, how's it feel pretty much winning fans and critics alike? I bet it feels pretty good. You guys deserve it though. I felt like having the cute, adorable Astrobot as I talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro was extremely fitting and all that. Gosh, I love that it deserves all the acclaim that it's getting. Absolutely. Controller demo. Oh yeah, right, it has that. Exactly. Appropriate. Freaking love it. As you are just standing there being adorable. Okay, so we gotta talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro because I know I'm late to the party, but we're about to do it. Just hold your horses. So I think I have the adorable Astrobot just pretty much telling me to kind of like signify to get a movie, but might as well talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay, so I watched the trailer. I could see why people are butthurt about the... I can see why they're butthurt about the PlayStation 5 Pro, specifically. The PlayStation 5 Pro, not the original PlayStation 5. I think that's still a success, but... Sony PlayStation? What the hell are you guys doing? I'm just being honest. After Concord... No, it's actually been happening for you guys, but it's really been prevalent in 2024. The push for live service games and having no games available, as you were claiming with the Sony CFO, and the fact of what you're doing with the PlayStation 5 Pro, which yeah, I'll tell you, and to make this pretty, like, straight to the point, I'm going to put another timer, and I'm going to make this 10 minutes because... Well, 10 minutes starting now, because I think I need to address the main points. Yeah, I think that's pretty appropriate. So, here we go! Alright, so within the 10 minutes, we might as well kind of read the facts from PlayStation Blog after reading the trailer. Alright, so, important thing. And whoever's actually buying the PlayStation 5 Pro, you already know this, if you're a gamer or if you keep up with PlayStation Blogs. Update! On September 26, 2024, pre-orders will be available directly from PlayStation at direct.playstation.com and at participating retailers and territories, where direct.playstation.com isn't available. On October 10th of this year, pre-orders will be available at all other participating retailers. So, whoever's a PlayStation fan, which I'm a PlayStation fan, but I'll explain... I'll go into my own opinion about this. Alright, let's get to the main kind of like nit and gritty, because I just watched a kind of like almost 10 minutes of what the guy was really trying to sell us on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Well, anyway, this is what it has. We developed PS5 Pro with the deeply engaged players and creators in mind, as many have asked for a console that runs even higher fidelity graphics with smoother frame rates at 60 frames per second. We achieved this on the PlayStation 5 Pro with C key performance features. Who was asking for that? I love what we have for original PlayStation. No, I do. We already have... Okay, so with the kind of like the graphics option, I love that we have the option for fidelity or performance. That's not been a design flaw. I've been completely on board with that. Well, anyway, this is what you're doing because apparently people were asking for this. Even though I wasn't asking for it, I was completely satisfied with the PS5. I only have made one nitpick, but it's really minor. Well, anyway, okay, upgrade GPU. With PS5 Pro, we're upgrading to a GPU that has 67% more compute units than the current PS5 console and 28% faster memory. Overall, this enables us 45% faster rendering for gameplay, making the experience much smoother. Okay, advanced ray tracing, that's the other thing. We added even more powerful ray tracing that provides more dynamic reflection and refraction of light. This allows the rays to be cast as double at times triple the speeds of the current PS5 console. But as we have seen from Astrobot, no one gives a crap about the graphics. No one does. They just want to make sure the game is fun. That's okay, moving on. AI-driven upscaling. We're also introducing PlayStation Spectro Super... PlayStation Spectro Super Resolution. An AI-driven upscaling that uses a machine learning-based technology to provide, well, super sharp image clarity by adding an extraordinary amount of detail. I agree with that, and I like that feature. I don't think there was a need for it, but yeah, I think that's... Alright, to sum it up, I think the AI-driven upscaling, I think that's the more benefit. The upgraded GPU and the advanced ray tracing, okay, cool. But we already have, and let's move Astrobot around just to kind of like... Is it because we're celebrating Astrobot? That's what it is? Ah, speed challenges. I didn't know we had that. Oh, as a tech nerd, this puts a big, stupid grin on my face. Oh, man. Okay, well, as Astrobot is just kind of playing on his, I guess, PSP or PSV Vita? Okay, so... Yeah, the only thing that I see benefit is the AI-driven upscaling in terms of the amount of detail, but with what PS5? Oh, that's adorable with the PSVR. Wait, was that the VR? Oh, that's adorable. Anyway, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense in terms of, what am I trying to say? I see the AI-driven upscaling people would be sold on. The upgraded GPU and advanced ray tracing, okay, yeah, better graphics. For what games are coming in 2024? They're being pushed to the 2025. Most of the games are coming out 2025. You have no games coming out 2024. The Sony CFO literally said it pretty recently. So that kind of defeats the purpose, and nobody really gives a crap about graphics anymore. And live service games. No one, as we have seen from Concord, we'll see how fair games do, but as we have seen from Concord, people don't care about basically live service games as much. Not like in the Overwatch days. And people really are not really kind of focused on graphics. You know what they care about? Having fun. That's your call PlayStation. You can't spell out PlayStation without play. You're all about play. Utilize the IPs you have. I'm frustrated because... You know why I'm also frustrated on this? I'll tell you why. And hold on, let me just kind of look at the price because that's gonna be it's the deterrent. And I'm trying to look at the PlayStation blog if it lists it, but oh yeah, it does. Here we are. The PlayStation Pro console will be available this holiday at a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $699.99 $699.99. I'm sorry, I had to do a replay of US dollars. Pounds, 699.99 pence. Well, 699 pounds and 99 pence. That's in euros. And well, that's euros. And 699.99 is in, well, yeah, Great British pounds. Euros is 799.99. And okay, JPY is definitely $9,980, including tax. Okay, so what does it include? It includes a 2 terabyte SSD, which I think on the original PS5, we had like 1 terabyte, and you just increased it by 1. You only increased it by 1 terabyte. As a PlayStation 5 Pro, you didn't give us like an additional 5 terabytes to make it 6. You didn't increase it to like 10 terabytes, or just anything higher, you just did 1. Which is that's such BS. DualSense wireless controller, which we already have. A copy of Astro's Playroom pre-installed in every PS5 Pro, which we freaking have on the original PS5. PS5 Pro is available as a diskless console. But what if we had the original PS4 disc that made PlayStation what it is, and they had some pretty iconic PS4 games? But they're discs. What if you actually bought a disc? So you're shut out of luck. That is what they're trying to say. But the option to buy the currently available disc drive for PS5 separately, and also the vertical stand that came with the original PS5, is also sold separately. I saw that in the trailer. They're not fooling anybody. So, from what I've been kind of scouring the internet and Google too, the original, the disc drive, the attachment, which is so stupid. Don't quote me on this. I thought it was getting up there like 80, or it's pretty much up to 80. And as they're claiming, the vertical stand, I don't know if it's up to 30, but you're looking at almost like close to up to 800. Let's just estimate up to 800. Just if you want to play your physical PS4 disc. That is literally what you're looking at. Okay, so now we can end the timer. And now I can actually kind of do what I do best. Talk about what I think about the game. But before I go into a rant, let's talk about what the original PS5 was known for. You know, the one that launched in November of 2020. Okay, so I'm looking at it. And this was when Jim Ryan was still around, when he was the president. Okay, so we had the PS5, the original one, and we had the disc version and the digital version. That doesn't sound like a bad deal. $499. Okay, we'll just focus on the U.S. currency, but $499.99 in U.S. dollars. We might as well talk about it. 499 pounds and 99 pence. 449 euros and 99. I don't remember the currency in terms of the cents for euros. I apologize. And 49 yen and 980. I apologize if I couldn't pronounce the JPY, and you guys definitely can correct me on that. While the digital version was $399.99 in US dollars. Do you get the point I'm trying to set? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Oh no, and it gets better. Because I'll tell you what the original PS5 bundles had, and why it was a worthy buy, and why it did extremely well. Both PS5 models use the same custom processor with integrated CPU and GPU for high-fidelity graphics, including 4K graphics and ray tracing support, as well as the same ultra-high-speed SSD with integrated I/O for lightning-fast loading. PS5 3D audio and the DualSense wireless controller, oh my gosh, we had that already 4 years ago? Will also provide the same heightened sense of immersion on all PS5s, which they did deliver. And we have plenty of games because of the PS4. Okay, and to also conclude that, just to kind of like, because my friend, which you guys already know, it's Doc, so let's just acknowledge that too. Anyway, he just told me that just earlier, I guess yesterday, in whatever time zone you are. And he told me PS5 Pro officially announced $700 base price, disc drive sold separately. Nah, I'm good for a while. Okay, so Sony, PlayStation. What the heck is wrong with you? What? No, there's no justification. It doesn't make any sense. Because when you're looking at the original PS5, and sorry, Astro Boy, we're moving you around. Just so we can keep the audience engaged and all that. Gosh, that's the tech nerd in me. I freaking love this. This is like a, oh man, this is a tech, not paradise, but yeah, it's freaking awesome. I'll just let Astro Boy be cute again. But, I'm sorry. We already had that features, and I'm with my friend on this too. And I'm with everybody too on what they're saying. So, okay, cool. We get better graphics, faster load times. Okay, yeah, you get the idea. Higher fidelity graphics, faster load times, more attention to detail, and 120 refresh rate, or frames per second, if you want to be that technical. Which, didn't the Xbox Series X have 4K, or it could go up to K, or 8K, and it already had like 120 refresh rate, but it depends if your TV, your specific TV can run 120 refresh rate or frames per second. Which, that's real, those TVs are so bloody expensive to get 8K TVs and to run 120. You can get 4Ks, don't call me on this, but you can get 4Ks to run with 120 refresh rate or frames per second. But it's very hard to attain those. You have to kind of like really scour the internet to just find those, and they're pretty actually expensive. So along with buying an expensive TV and an expensive console, of upgrading games that you can already play in 4K, and you know that the games, and oh, it gets better. It gets better. So, this is the games that PlayStation was saying that can actually be enhanced with the PS5 Pro. It's 13 games, which is ridiculous because you're wanting people to buy it, but you have no games, or your very low supply games, as your Sony CFO confirmed it. You're low on games for the rest of the year, and we don't know if you're going to give us a lot of games in 2025. But here's the games that can go the refresh rate or 120 frames per second, and their graphics will be updated. Here are the games. It's 13, so that's not a lot. Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows. That hasn't come out yet, so, but no one really, Ubisoft is kind of shitting the bed, so who's going to actually buy it? Well, I hope it looks cool, but time will tell. Demon Souls, Dragon Dogma 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Gran Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, The Crew Motorfest, the first Descendant, that people are playing, but they're not really playing. The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. And, of course, there are more, but those are the confirmed 13 games so far. But Sony, you're Sony CFO, and I don't know how much that holds weight of what he said, that they just don't have a lot of games coming out this year. That's still adorable, but you don't have a lot of games coming out the rest of the year. You can't justify your price of $700. Now, it would make sense, and here's where my rent comes into play, it would make sense if you only increased it from $100. I mean, I think, and don't call me on this, when the original Xbox 360 was having the ring of death, and then pretty much they decided to build the Xbox 360 Slim to kind of counteract that problem, I think it was reasonably priced. No one had to spend an arm and leg, but you're asking us, whoever is a PlayStation fan or PlayStation, or who just likes PlayStation products, you're asking us to kind of spend an additional $200 if you bought the disc version, or additional $300 if you bought the digital. So you're saying, you're wanting us to pretty much spend an additional $300 if you stuck with the additional, and that's including tax, and the disc drive that you wanted from the original version, which you're going to be satisfied with the original version. You're asking us to spend an additional $200, along with an additional up to $80, and that's probably separately the disc drive and also a vertical stand that came with the original. I'm sorry, Sony, who is doing the marketing for you guys? That is the most stupidest thing I ever heard of. I mean, the main thing I'm gonna say, no, I'm gonna stick with my original console. Thank you very much. It's not that people are, and you know, at the end of the day, people are gonna still buy this. You guys already know this. There are plenty of other people. Well, let me put it this way: other people have already posted YouTube videos of people gonna buy this. They're gonna buy this console. Why? Because they can. And hey, if you can, more power to you. But from kind of like a logistic standpoint, me being just a tech nerd and just am I a PlayStation fanboy? Yeah, but I'm also, I guess I could say I'm an Xbox fanboy and Nintendo. It depends on what console is offering a massive library of games. If there's a massive library of actual games coming out and actually a bountiful supply of games, then I'm gonna lean more into that console. PlayStation, you're not really selling me after we got to 2024. 2020 to 2023, completely so, because you had plenty of games coming, and you were the console. You were absolutely the console. 2024, you're just making poor decision making that I shouldn't be surprised. It was leading up to this point, but man, is it because the amount of units that they sold, they just can't keep up with the games that they need to sell to justify the amount of units? I don't know. It's just, there's more to it. Alright, how many minutes have I done? Alright, 20 more minutes. But that's completely okay. Here comes my rat then. You guys already know what I'm about. It's a tall order. You're asking us to drop 700 plus tax and additional components. That's greedy. That's so slimy and greedy. The original console that you gave us was perfect enough. You give us all the essential things that we want. That as a gamer, I'm completely sold on the original PS5. I'm not getting the PS5 Pro. It's not just because, hey, it's not the fact that I don't want it. It's the fact that I already have what I need with the original one. And PlayStation, you're gonna just be looking at YouTube videos and like, we don't care. You're gonna buy it anyway, and that's true. Some people are just gonna buy it, but I get the feeling, and just because I'm seeing on the videos too, and a lot of comments from the other people who are agreeing with the people who are talking about that people are not gonna buy your console, they're completely right. They're completely right. You know why they're completely right? Because no one is just gonna spend $700 and are we in COVID or are we in post-COVID? Well, you guys can definitely let me know. Or maybe not. I don't know. YouTube is kind of funny about COVID. But because of, like, COVID, people are not just going to just drop $700 for a video game console. People are going to just kind of use that to survive, to kind of make sure they pay bills and, you know, adult stuff. Adult responsibilities. Oh, did I hit reality? Yes. That's exactly what they're wanting us to do. They're asking you to drop $700 for the same console that you got for $500 from the disc version, or $400, and of course plus tax, from the digital version. You're essentially paying for the same game that you already currently own, just on a kind of like a high upgrade version of the console. But for an extremely high price, it's expensive. And if you think that people are going to buy it, you're right, people are going to buy it, sadly. But there's no justification of why you would play your games that you already can get the highest fidelity or the highest performance. I'm sorry, who's asking for 120 refresh rate if not all the games can do it? If only 13 games can do it, and I guarantee the future games that are coming out, I don't think they'll get to 120 refresh rate. They're not all... Game creators can't get their games that high. They have to do 60 because maybe that's their capability. That's the thing. I was like, you know that not all games are about graphics. Like Ultros is a perfect example, or the retro games. They can't get to 60 frames per second because they're retro games. They can't freaking do it. Ah, man, that's still adorable. I'm sorry if I get off track, but no, the game creators just cannot get to 120 refresh rate. They're just not. It's like also the Xbox side too. They just can't get games always to 120 refresh rate. They just can't. Because the games are just not that. It takes like years to get to that high frame rate. They can't do it. And that's completely understandable. But Sony, you're forcing the director, or you're forcing the game developers to do that, which freaking doesn't make sense. And who was asking for this? Oh, we heard your feedback, people were asking for this. I was like, no, your investors were asking for this. Don't get that twisted. Deeply engaged players was asking for this. Who was asking for this? If there was somebody who was asking for 4K 60 frames per second at the same time, or 120, completely cool. But they can also go to Xbox if they want to. I'm not trying to kind of like, in a sense, convert people from PlayStation to Xbox. No, but they have that option too, to get 120. But only if their TV supports it. You know your games, not all your games can go that high. So that kind of defeats the purpose. If people buy the console, which they will, cool. But I thought I saw in the survey that 74% of people are not going to buy it because it's freaking expensive, which is completely justifiable. And the other remaining percent says, yeah, I was like, I like it, but I won't buy it because I don't think it's worth it because my original console kind of does the job. And then the other, like, remaining 5% said they're going to buy it. And hey, more power to you if you can do it. Tell us how it is. You can post videos on it if you want. Completely cool. I'm not seeing the logic, and you're not selling me of why I should buy a higher console that's exactly the same, it's just a higher model. Cool. Maybe if they were giving it like a sweepstakes, cool, but, or let's just say someone just decided to give free PS5 Pros. Okay, cool. But it's only selected games. So my deterrent of why I'm not selling this PS5 Pro is it's the high-end price. I don't think there's any reason why you should be $700. I think you should be $599. And I'm not trying to tell Sony what to do because they're not going to freaking do it. But no, I think you should just increase it by 100. Increase it by 200 in terms of this version. 300 is just freaking ridiculous. You have a low supply of video games that just can't run to that capability that you're asking for. You're trying to push the envelope of something groundbreaking, but you know your developers can't do it, and you know that the gamers do not care about that. I certainly don't care. Give me something like Astro Bot any day without the highest graphics and the highest frame rate, and I will be freaking okay. I just want it's what I've been saying in recent videos, and I know I have. I don't care about the highest graphics. Graphics are a bonus. I freaking love it, and I like that we have that feature. But let's freaking face it, I just want my game to be fun. I do not care that much about graphics. It's not a selling factor. What I freaking care about is if the game is fun, it's innovative and creative. But really, I just want it to be fun. It's a video game. It's not a freaking piece of art of graphics or just technological. It's not technological advancement. Yeah, it's just fun. It's all about fun. That is literally what it's about. That's all you need to be, PlayStation. Did you forget what you're called? PlayStation. Play is in your freaking title. PlayStation. That's all you need to do. No, I'm frustrated because Sony is they're one step ahead and they're 5 steps back. I know that's not the expression, but I think you guys get that bloody freaking point of what I'm trying to make. Yeah, PlayStation. Just go back to your roots. Give the fans what they want. That is literally what we're asking for. And I'm asking the same thing too. Give the fans what they want. Give us stuff like Astrobot. Fun. Stop giving us live service games that no one's asking for. And we are not asking for. And we keep telling you, but you won't listen. You're too busy putting money on your freaking ears to actually give a damn. See how fun that was? See how simple that is? Okay, but hey, I've been seeing a lot of videos say the common consensus is vote with your wallets, and people are gonna vote with their wallets. And PlayStation, you kind of did it to yourself at this point. Like, why is people not buying people not buying a console? Huh, PlayStation, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that you charge like an arm and freaking leg, 2 legs, arms and legs, just to kind of have people buy it, expecting them to buy it. How did that work out for you for Concord? I'm sorry, I know we're past Concord at this point because, you know, it's offline at this point and delisted. You know, I'm gonna have to check if it's actually delisted from my actual downloads or my collection, because they apparently did that. But PlayStation, you clearly saw how Concord did. Why would you continue to kind of just muck about? And I don't use that word lightly. I don't use that word lightly, and that's bad. Muck about. I can't believe I actually used that, but here we are. But clearly, you keep making marketing decision that just doesn't make sense. You're in the same realm as Xbox. Gosh, that's a bad. It's not that you haven't made bad marketing decision. I imagine in the past, you just made recent ones, and your consoles are selling like hotcakes. So you have no reason of why. And kind of after the kind of like disastrous Concord, you have to kind of like make sure you're doing it right. Otherwise, people are not going to buy your consoles. I won't be surprised if a good chunk of people buy the PS5 Pro, but if you're a kid or just like getting like allowance from the folks or just like an adult who are just really kind of trying to just make ends meet, you're not going to buy the console. If you do buy the console, okay, more power to you. But it's just essentially buying the same console. You're essentially buying the same console. I'm not trying to sell you, because you're going to just do what you want. Completely cool. But you are essentially buying the same console for very selective games that can only achieve what the suits are wanting to achieve, but you know that not all your games are going to do it. So you just kind of just spent $700 to play the same games for something that's going to, of course, be replaced with the PS6. Let's face it. So yeah, it's better to just wait for the PS6 if it does something innovative and all that. Yeah, pretty much. That's all they're doing. Oh, that was neat. Dude, that was neat. Alright. How many minutes did I do? 32 minutes. But guys, it had to be said. I mean, why would they do this? I'm trying to understand the marketing and understand the logistics, and you're not selling me on both. $700 is a steep price. It's not the fact that people can't afford it. It's not the fact that people don't want to try it out. I would try it out if it was like in a free demo, but no one's just gonna drop $700. Sony, you're out of your freaking mind. And that's kind of just what I'm saying. I'm sticking with the original PS5. I'm sticking with the original PS5. It gets the job done. I get my graphics option. I'll tell you several reasons of why you're just gonna keep your original PS5. But for me, I'll tell you my original reason. All right, 1. Okay, reason 1, and then I'll kind of conclude it. And I'll try to make it 5, but let's just make it pretty simple. Reason 1, I can play all my PS5 games, and I can play all my PS5 games, and PS4 games, and PSP games, and because of PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. We don't have PS3 games, but hey, maybe eventually they'll maybe PlayStation wise up and actually put PS3 games, you know, to actually download, not to freaking stream. But yeah, I can play pretty much a massive library of games. My PlayStation 5 has the most amount of games of all my consoles combined. It does. It's actually amazing. Oh, that's adorable. But yeah, it's just the fact that we have a lot of games with the PS5, and the backwards compatibility is such a major. It's such a benefit. You have no idea. Another thing, the haptic feedback that you're gonna just give us again, I already have that. It's not necessary, but it's such a very unique and cool feature. I don't think it would sell anybody, but I freaking love it, so I can deal. Third reason, Okay, that was my second reason in terms of the haptic feedback. I don't think it was like needed, but yeah, you are already essentially gave me what I needed. You already gave me the haptic feedback. It was no sense. I already have it, so no point. Third reason, the graphics option was completely fine as it is. Who was asking for higher frame rate and higher graphics? I think they're perfect as it is. I've already achieved it 4K, which is such an accomplishment. I already have 4K, 30 frames per second. Oh my gosh, I grew up with that in my Super Nintendo Entertainment System days. I think I can deal with higher graphics and lower frame rates. Oh my gosh, that's such a... Oh my gosh. 4K with... I need 4K with 120 frame rate, or 4K with 60 frame rate. I was not asking for that. I do not care. 4K with 30 frames per second, I can deal. Or, oh my gosh, my performance or my frame per second can't go to 120, not like my Xbox Series X. I didn't care about that either. I'm completely okay with 60. I think that runs very extremely well. That's my third reason. Fourth reason. Okay, my fourth reason. And I'm trying to think of like a good fourth reason. I think the attention to detail, the advanced ray tracing, I don't know if that was needed. No one really cared about the graphics. Again, I'm a gamer. I don't care about that much about graphics. I'm care about having fun. That's all I need to know. The fifth reason, and I have said this like several times, this is my last reason. You don't have a lot of games coming out in 2024. You have games coming out in 2025. Why would I buy a new console for the games that are going to come on the PS5 already? What's my reason and what is the logistics of getting a PS5 Pro for games that are going to come to the PS5 and are going to look as great? It's still going to just look fantastic either way. But you want me to put on the PS5 Pro and you're like, oh, you're going to see this attention to detail. It's going to look better than the PS5. Okay. Well, my PS5 still looks good. Sure, it didn't get that one freaking background character in the distance, but it looks still freaking solid. I don't see a need to get a PS5 Pro if I need to see an extra detail or something like, hey, notice on the rain, you can now see the rain with extra detail. I didn't give a shit. I did not. I just cared about... I didn't give a shit. I just cared about just looking at the game and having fun with the game. God of War is not just about graphics. It's all about freaking fun. Everything else is just a bonus. That's why it's successful. It's fun to play. It's fantastic to play. But no one is all about the story unless you are invested in the story. Oh yes, God of War Ragnarok, you're invested. But those are bonuses. We just wanted to play the game. Okay, I think I'm done. So, of course, guys, what I want to conclude with this video, because this is going to be edited in Share Factory, obviously. What do you guys think about the PS5 Pro? Is it a yay or nay? You're going to buy it or not buy it? If you do buy it, hey, more power to you. Like I said, to each their own. Happy trails. Hope you have fun with the PS5 Pro. Or are you not going to buy it? Which, hey, more power to you if you don't want to buy it. It is completely your choice. Or you're just going to wait till it get to the sales price. Hey, whatever the reason, it's completely cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and do maybe just like a couple of videos, and I know what game I wanted to do. So, guys, I'll see you guys at the next clip, and you can definitely leave that like, comment, or subscribe. I was trying to say leave a like, comment, or subscribe if it wasn't clear enough. Alright, as for what, ways to film again, or play your game, and we'll be back with the next clip.